Hey friends, Matt here, responding to this week's forum post about influential artists. I got to admit, this particular week, I feel like I was really scratching my head trying to come up with influential artists in my life, and probably my problem is that I was limiting myself to only thinking about painting and poetry and a lot of what we've been talking about already in this class. I tend to, when I start thinking about opening up, conversations about music, then I come to things a lot quicker. And so I'm going to be talking about a musical artist that has had a huge impact in my life, and that is the pianist George Winston. George Winston is a piano soloist who is categorized as a new age piano player. When I grew up as a kid, just learning how to play piano, I was learning all the. Actually, Dave Taylor actually held up a sign or a book that was beginner's piano lessons, and I'm almost positive that I learned how to play the piano out of that book. And piano playing to me at the very beginning of things was really dry and rudimentary, and I kind of just did it because my parents signed me up for it. And then I was exposed to George Winston and suddenly saw something that I wanted to become and emulate and copy. And so went to a George Winston concert. My parents took me there, my mom took me there, and was just captivated by his repetitious nature of his compositions. I started finding myself composing much like what George Winston was coming out of, and a lot of what I write today probably tends to mimic a lot of what he does in his compositions as well. The guy on a interpersonal level is not somebody that I really would want to probably sit down and have coffee with. He reminds me of an uncle that I don't quite know how to visit with, but the way that he is. Forgive me if any of you are related to George. Sorry. But the way that he sits down at the piano and who he becomes, and how I feel like I'm ushered right into the glory of God by simply hearing his piano playing. George Winston has had a humongous influence in my life, and I'm grateful for him. So I'm going to post a couple of links of George Winston's music so you can kind of hear what I'm talking about.